like to welcome you to this edition of what I am calling uh, Meggido Rising News Reports. And today we're going to be covering a vast variety of topics. It's going to be split up in sections, but the first group of topics we're going to be covering is kind of like we're going to go over the Earth changes and the specific weather anomalies that are going on. And so we're going to be going over those, and the animal deaths, we're going to be covering that in this video as well. Followed by some more things that I picked up during watching the election speech after Obama won. What that could mean, what could be possibly around the corner. We're going to be covering a couple incidents that happened in Syria today, and that should be it for today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come on here and give you news updates every day of the week, because I still got my Bible lessons I'm working on and everything like that, so I do that as well. But this is I'm trying different formats here. I'm trying to organize myself here a little bit, and to keep you guys up to date, as well as coming out with the Bible studies and the Bible discussions and these types of things too. So without further ado, since this video is going to be mainly with the updates of the animal die-offs and the earth changes and these types of things, I figured I'd go ahead and start with some scripture. And we're going to go ahead and start with Hosea 4:1. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land." And that just doesn't go for American folks. That's like widespread throughout the whole world. I really want to drive this point home, because a lot of people use these verses when they get into the animal die-offs, and you can really break this down into more and really drive this point home with this. And if you turn to Isaiah 59:11, it reads, "We roar all like bears, and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far off from us." It's very interesting, because if you go to Revelation 3:20, speaking of the church of Laodicea, it says, "Behold, I stand at the door." Well, that door is your heart. If he's staying at the door, this Laodicean church age that we're living in almost documents that there's probably a lot in the church that aren't really saved. "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him, and will sup with him, and he with me." And then Luke 18:8 says, "I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?" See, there's a total lack of faith going on. The rapture is a lack of faith, because while people are expecting the great escape out of here before all the bad stuff happens, they don't have the faith that, it just seems like to me, they don't have the faith that God can protect them through these horrible judgments that are going to be coming upon the earth. So when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Isaiah 59:12 through 15. "For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities we know them. And transgressing and lying against the Lord, and departing away from our God, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood." It's kind of interesting with all the things going on in the political realm too, and these types of things when reading these verses. And all of these go right in line with Hosea 4:1 through 3, if you really think about it. and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So for those folks that think that we're not supposed to judge, well, we're supposed to be judging righteous judgment. And it displeases the Lord that there is no judgment in the land. Okay? And then you go back to Hosea 4:2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. All because there's no truth in the land. All because of this. Because there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. We're coming into a severe time of judgment, folks, in America and also in the world. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. In Zephaniah 1:2-3, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks with the wicked. And I will cut off man from off the land, saith the Lord. So, I figured I'd start this report with these scriptures, and now that I have finished with that, let us continue on with the current headlines and see what's going on. Okay, this is the list of mass animal deaths. I'm going to give you the links. I'm going to show you the articles, but I'm going to provide you with the links. As well in the show more section for this part 1. And also, if I have every time, because chances are that it's always going to be more than one part as far as these reports go, so I want to try and keep them somewhat short, anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes max, 30 minutes being the max. Anyway, for this way I can actually get up to date with all the animal deaths. Now, obviously, there's been a huge amount in the month of October, and this is a really good site that really keeps it up to date. You go to endtimeprophecy.org, and you click on End Time News Updates, and when you scroll down, you'll see a little tab that has these dead blackbirds on it. You click on that, and it gives you the up-to-dates of these mass animal deaths. And also they have a current news. They kind of update current news as far as the religious aspect goes. And they seem to be really doing a good job on reporting on these types of things. So I think this is a legit site. Anyway, the first one for the 1st of November, 84 sea turtles wash ashore dead in Egypt. Here's the main article for that. You can see that right here. Okay. And then you can click on the permanent link. And the count is actually up to 84 as far as what they have been investigating. And also in Bangladesh, there's 4,000 plus birds killed due to avian flu outbreak at Ghazipur farms in Bangladesh. And here is the main article for that. You have 80 whales and dolphins beached, majority dead off King Island in Tasmania. There's the article for that. Now bear in mind with what I just read you in Hosea, folks. Okay? If this isn't God trying to wake people up out there to get them to turn from their wicked ways, because He says in His Word turn back, why would you perish? Why would you die? Then I don't know what is. Regardless of what the article says, I'm just reading the headlines. If you want to read the rest of the article, by all means, links will be there. But dolphins beached again after mass stranding. And it's about 80 whales and dolphins, so 160 total. 80 whales and 80 dolphins. Thousands of cattle dead from drought conditions in Zimbabwe. There you go. Here's that article. At least 1,240 cattle have died across the country due to persistent drought as the government battles to provide adequate relief to affecting farming communities. And even throughout the world. I mean, look at the mass drought we had here in America. We're going to see huge price spikes because of the droughts, the cattle, and these types of things. So, you got that going on. 700 water birds found dead along shore of Lake Michigan. And here's that article. In a dramatic scene along the Lake Michigan shoreline in Schoolcraft County, researchers have recently discovered the carcasses of nearly 700 dead water birds thought to be the victims of type B botulism. 500 pigeons suddenly dropped dead in Bihar's Bangapur district in India. Here's that article, znews.com. Over 500 pigeons dropped dead in Bihar village. More than 500 pigeons suddenly dropped dead at village in Bihar's Bangapur district over the last 4 days, causing residents, some of them pigeon keepers, to fear that something was amiss. District officials are still to visit the site and conduct an inquiry. Over 500 pigeons died mysteriously in Bath village near Shettinganj in Bangapur, about 250 kilometers from the state capital. So, you got that going on. Acres of fish ponds full of dead fish in Nanchang in China. And here's that article. This is translated. So, acres of fish ponds and the size of the fish overnight. Sudden death was poisoned to kill these fish. This was November 6th. And here you can see the pictures. So, and die off of seagulls, a mystery on Lake Nyingar in Australia. There's that, the mystery over waterbird deaths at Lake Nyingar. It says experts are unsure why so many birds are dying on Lake Nyingar. Council workers were called out to the Eaglehawk Lake yesterday to clean up a collection of dead seagulls on an island in the middle of the lake. Bendigo resident Donna Pollard reported the incident to the city of Greater Bendigo after she discovered dozens of dead birds on a walk around the area. Ms. Pollard said she was concerned that dead wildlife would contaminate the water. The smell was terrible and it just looked so awful. So, and he said the council was unaware of what caused the death of the birds. So, you have that going on. Now, I found this and I figured I would report on it. Only because there's been a lot of speculations with the Planet X and these types of things, and I kind of shied away from it because I was really getting too heavy into it. I'm not saying there's nothing out there called a Planet X or Nibiru, but this was interesting because notice here how there is an asteroid called Nibiru. They're not calling it a planet, okay? So asteroid Nibiru on collision course with Earth, according to NASA whistleblowers. So take this with a grain of salt, folks. We'll have to see what comes out of it, but this is what it says. According to leaks by unnamed NASA employees and scientists, an asteroid dubbed Nibiru is heading in a direct path towards Earth with up to 30% chance of collision. Understandably, NASA is keeping quiet for the moment as to not incite panic and to get all the facts before making an official press release, though some unconfirmed rumors include the asteroid being the size of Texas and the estimated date of collision being sometime during November and December. So anywhere from November to the end of 2012. Okay, so, you got to remember you got the whole December 21st thing coming up, so you're probably going to see a lot of things like this. So this all just might be disinfo, but it is something to put in the back burner for now and keep it in mind. Because I think that's interesting that they're calling this asteroid Nibiru, and they totally took off the whole category of planet. And now it's just an asteroid. Which would make more sense because there's plenty of asteroids that come near the Earth all the time. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So just bear this in mind. I mean, don't take this as a for sure thing. But it's something that's been thrown out there, and we'll just have to wait and see. So from now until the end of December, there's a 30% chance of collision with the Earth of an asteroid the size of Texas. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. 25 dead, thousands displaced by flooding in southern India. Torrential rains in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh have killed at least 25 people and displaced tens of thousands of villagers over the past week, an official said Monday. Downpours triggered by a cyclone that hit the coast late last Wednesday near Chennai left hundreds of villages inundated and 60,000 people in relief camps. So you got devastating floods going on in India. Guatemala had a 7.4 magnitude earthquake and a tsunami was generated. I don't think there was much with the tsunami. Let's see. Sea level readings indicate a tsunami was generated. It may have been destructive along coasts near the earthquake epicenter for those areas when no major waves are observed for 2 hours after the estimated time of arrival, or damaging waves have not occurred for at least 2 hours, then local authorities can assume the threat is past. So apparently that was a threat because of the earthquake of where it happened, which was on the coast of Guatemala or off the coast of Guatemala. And that's why they issued that warning, but it seems like nothing came about with that tsunami, although there has been at least 10 deaths as far as I think reports are going. So there was a 7.4 earthquake in Guatemala. Here we have a 3.3 magnitude earthquake that rattled Santa Monica Bay near Los Angeles, California. According to USGS, no damage has been reported. And then we had another 5.0 magnitude earthquake strike offshore Guatemala, November 7th, so it was probably aftershock of the 7.4. And New York City is closing all the parks, playgrounds, and beaches starting at noon Wednesday as a weather precaution because there's a nor'easter coming in. And remember, we just got done with Hurricane Sandy. So, and people could lose power again, says Christie, who I believe is the mayor of Staten Island, I think. Let's take a gander at this.
You have to begin to work to prepare for the storm that's coming in a few hours. Amazingly. I said somewhere earlier today, when I finally got that final kind of forecast that I got last night, I said I'm waiting for the locust and pestilence next. DEP has provided outreach to coastal towns, encouraging them to move sand back onto their beaches and take steps that could provide protection against storm surges, just like you're going to see here later today. Let me talk a little bit about the recovery that we're in the midst of, rather than the storm we're about to receive. On power, we are now down to 369,000 households without power. That's from our peak of 2.76 million a week ago today. And then we maybe take a few steps back, and that's more for the inland part of the state, where we're projecting 3 to 6 inches of snow. And that's going to be heavy, wet snow on trees that haven't been knocked down already by the storm and still have leaves on them. So I can see us actually moving backwards, and people who have gotten power losing power again, especially inland, because of the snow. It could happen here as well if there's significant flooding and wind damage, but we're not going to know until this storm passes.
So there's one video. And then New York City is closing all of its parks, playgrounds, and beaches starting at noon, so that's already been happening. They're already closed. And storm-battered New York and New Jersey ordered the evacuation ahead of a new storm. Reuters is reporting the looming bad weather has New York and New Jersey on edge again as the U.S. Northeast struggles to recover from former Hurricane Sandy, which killed at least 120 in the United States and Canada when it struck on October 29th as a rare hybrid storm. New York has ordered the evacuation of some low-lying, hard-hit areas, including the Rockaway section of Queens and the South Shore of Staten Island, home to nearly half of the 40 people killed in New York City by Sandy, while residents of at least 2 New Jersey towns have also been told to leave. So, and here is a description of this nor'easter that has already been hitting. See if I can refresh this. That's already hitting the tri-state area. And it's a description of the storm. Rain, strong winds, and snow will continue to overspread more of the Northeast through tonight as a potent nor'easter churns offshore. Gusty winds along the Northeast coast not only threaten to cause more damage in areas ravaged by Sandy last week, but also could drive ocean water into coastal communities that are no longer being protected by dunes. Rain is adding to the misery of the day along the coastlines, while places along and just west of Interstate 95 will be shoveling snow before the start of Thursday. So they're not getting any breaks, folks. Keep these individuals in their in your prayers. They're going through very rough times over there. To read more about how the nor'easter will impact the Northeast through Thursday, please read this news story or track the storm with the following updates from AccuWeather.com. You can also jump below for a list of stories that give more precise details of how the nor'easter will impact specific cities and communities. So here is obviously you can see here is the precipitation of the nor'easter. You can see the bands of rain, and then the snow here, right in the center of it. As of 12:59, you hear a 62-mile-an-hour wind gust was recorded 6 miles west of southeast of Cuttyhunk, Massachusetts. Wires were down by strong winds in Natick, Massachusetts. We started receiving the first updates at 6 a.m., and the latest updates were the past hour. From 6:40, the heaviest band of snow from this nor'easter is right over the New York City area. A general 3 to 6 inches of accumulation expected across the tri-state area. Connecticut is looking at 6 to 10 inches of snow tonight. And as of 8:05, Central Park now reporting 2.8 inches of snow. So, at least on a brighter side, I've seen New York get hit with some nasty, nasty storms over the years. It's kind of hard to say that this could be worse, but it is really bad just for the fact of what they had to go through with Hurricane Sandy. Okay, so I mean, if Sandy never came through, I mean, if the powers that be never steered Sandy into the East Coast to begin with, probably as the October surprise to get Obama elected, then this nor'easter probably would have been a normal thing for them, and they wouldn't really. I mean, it'd still be nasty, but they're used to those types of things. So, but because of Sandy and because of the recovery still going on over there, by let's just say the public, I mean, the government ain't really doing much of anything. They're going through a really rough time with this storm. So, my thoughts and prayers are with those people there. But this is the end of part 1 of the news updates. So, hopefully part 2 will be up here shortly. God bless you. Bye-bye.